All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house, and welcome back to the channel. I've got a technical review right over here for you to enjoy. So this is gonna be not on the field, there's gonna be another video separate with this guy right up against the GOAT of the situation. In my opinion, this is the GOAT. Hard to beat this bad boy right over here, NL Pure from Swarovski. But again, we are talking about a completely different ballpark for this Svbony SV202. This is a 10x42 ED binocular, traditional mechanical roof prism binocular. The box contains the unit, of course, in a nice case, microfiber cloth, the instruction manual, and a neck strap. Right over here you have a shoulder strap for the case, which I really appreciate, with a belt loop. Right over here you go, Svbony. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Anyways, we have the binocular right over here. This is a 10x42 sorry, bad boy. Strictly analog optical physics, incorporating high-grade glass materials and optical coatings. You know, these are typically reserved for more expensive configuration. And I have to say, this guy didn't disappoint. I briefly checked it out on the field, and I have to say, positively surprised. Let me remove these guys, which are not ideal. They're not like snug. This, I can see these just after quite some use just to come off. Anyways, we're here to check out this bad boy right over here, and let me go through some tech specs. 10 times magnification, 42mm objective lens diameter. Extra-low dispersion ED glass. This is pretty cool. 3 elements in 2 groups with an eyepiece with 4 elements and 3 groups. Roof prism, of course, back 4 glass. The prism have a phase correction coating and dielectric multi-coatings. Bam! Lens coatings is fully broadband multi-coated FMC. They claim that more than 90% of the light is being transmitted. That's pretty cool. Field of view is 6.5 degrees, so 341 feet at 1,000 yards, or 114 meters at 1,000 meters. Minimum focusing distance is a pretty cool 2.5 meters, 8.2 feet. Measured a little bit longer, but it's all right. We are in that ballpark. 15.2mm is the eye relief with a 1, 2, 3 position twist up eye cups. 42mm is gonna be 4.2mm is gonna be the exit pupil of this binocular, with an interpupillary distance IPD of 56mm to 73mm. Diopter adjustment, plus or minus 3 diopters. Magnesium alloy with texture rubber armor protection coating. Not coating, sorry. Armor, right? IPX7, so this is waterproof. Internal nitrogen purged for fog proofing. And it weighs around 700 grams. So this is, you know, completely passive eye transmission optical pipeline. Performance is very, very good for the price. This is derived from specific glass shapes, material configuration, and wave interference coating. And this is not a slouch, I'm telling you. You will see in the field test, but this is pretty good. Dispersion control via ED glass. You know, it's happening here. When light passes through a standard glass lens, different wavelengths color, they bend at slightly different angles, causing them to focus at different points along the optical axis. This it's a physical limitation that results in chromatic aberration, which are visible to the eye as purple or yellow color fringing around the contrast edges. This guy uses ED glass, so extra-low dispersion, in the objective assembly. So, specialized formulation that forces the red, the green, and the blue light wavelengths to converge at virtually the exact same focal plane, tightening the image profile and increasing structural contrast of that bird you want to look through this pair of binoculars. You know, to keep the chassis straight and streamlined, a roof prism architecture is employed. Light is entering the 42mm objective lens travels through a Schmidt-Pechan prism assembly made of back 4 barium lightweight flint glass. Phase correction is also happening in this bad boy because light reflecting inside of a roof prism splits in 2 out-of-phase pathways, so destructive wave interference normally ruins the resolution. Here, they apply a phase correction coating to the prism surface to realign this light wave, restoring the micro contrast. That's pretty cool. There's also dielectric coating because one of the internal prism surface does not naturally achieve total internal reflection. This device utilizes a multi-layer dielectric mirror coating on this surface, which reflects more than 99% of the incident light across the visible spectrum, keeping light loss inside the binocular very minimal. Focusing is achieved via a central internal focusing mechanism driven by this external wheel right over here. The internal housing is constructed from a cast magnesium alloy that rather than a polycarbonate resin common in this price tier. This gives the body high torsional rigidity and structural stability under varying temperatures. That's pretty important, and maintaining a total weight under 700 grams, this is pretty cool. The chassis is wrapped in a thick texture rubber that improves tactile friction. I really like that. Also, the central focus wheel is broad, it's rubberized for solid grip, and it's pretty smooth across its rotational range. Minimal backlash, mechanical play. You know, the right eye diopter adjustment ring operates with high mechanical tension, so this is pretty good to use. No accidental shifts during deployment, I would say. Twist up eye cups. They have a machined mechanical track providing, you see maybe on the inside, they provide a very pleasant 3 distinct positioning detents. Nice audible click stops. If you use eyeglasses, 15.2mm of high relief, you should be good to go. There are some pros and then some cons, like in all things in life. The pros are that this is a premium chassis composition. For sure, using magnesium alloy chassis provides an exceptional strength to weight ratio, rarely seen at this price point. The advanced prism treatments, they're pretty cool, you know, dielectric multi-coating. The AD objective lenses are very nice for the chromatic aberrations. IPX7 rating combined with internal nitrogen purging prevents internal fogging and protects the internal optical surface from the total immersion. That's amazing. And also controlled weight profile. 700 grams minimize the user fatigue, and also 1042, look at this, look at the size. Yeah, it's compact, very compact, and we appreciate that. The cons, you know, the field of view is 6.5 degrees, 341 feet at 1,000 yards. You know, it's safe, not exceptional. Like that guy right there is unbelievable, but it's still this avoids, the edge distortion, of course, if you opt like for a slightly narrower sweet spot compared to the wide-angle field designs. Close focus of 2.8 meters measured limits its utility for macro outdoor, such as insect, butterflies, plants, expecting them at close range. Tight eye relief also for heavy eyeglass format, 15.2 millimeters accommodates most standard optics, but if you have thick frames or deep-set eyes, you might experience some blackout or shading around the field stop. Also, it's a budget category, of course, so manufacturing constraint mean mechanical resistant non-element like the focus wheel, dioptering can vary slightly between individual production batches, but for what I can say, I'm very satisfied with this bad boy. Nice and compact, smooth, well done, optically very, very, very good. So there you have it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.